What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Savings Minus Debt. I'm your host. Got another good one for you today. This didn't actually come to me myself. I saw Ramil had a title of a video talking about Jeff Bezos, and I'm like, I like the title, and then I went and read about it, and so I had to come up with something myself because it just doesn't make any sense. So as always, I'm gonna give about 3 minutes for people to get up in here. Get you another SMD live talk. I come back to back so you guys understand that I'm not messing around. This is serious. What I teach will change your life. What's up, Kildeus? Atticus, hello. What's going on? I am well. Hope you're doing well too. Back on again to spread some knowledge. You guys probably notice I haven't come on camera lately because I need to get a haircut. So as soon as I get a haircut, I'll come back on camera, right? You guys know by now that I'm not scared of the camera. I actually love it. Welcome. We're going to get started in about another minute and a half. What's up, Amina? Welcome. Since I almost got a pretty much captive audience, nobody can go anywhere. Stuff's getting locked back down. I really haven't paid attention. I don't watch the news, so I don't really know what's going on now. But the last I saw that they were closing things down again and all this other stuff. So I don't know. That part is hard to describe. Once you get out of debt, I just didn't really watch the news anymore. I know you really can't make that connection, but it has a connection. You just can't be in debt to see it. That's all. But I just have no. I don't know. It's weird trying to watch the news, man. I can't take. It's like torture watching the news. It's like they'll talk about something serious. Somebody gets killed. It's almost like it's like a wave. They'll start with something really, really horrible, and then they'll come up with something really a little bit easier. Somebody got their house broken into, and then somebody saved the dog, and then you donate something to somewhere for some cause, and then they go into commercial. And then when they come, but just before commercial, they leave you with something really, really horrible that for you to come back and see it. And then they start all over again. It just waves. It's just crazy. Just torture. I couldn't do it. What's up, Dave? All right, we're going to get started. My name is LJ Young, and I am a 100% debt-free motivational speaker and personal finance educator. I help people become financially free by helping them financially see outside what I call the debt matrix. And the debt matrix is a place where everybody believes in financing everything that goes down in value, still can't figure out why they're living paycheck to paycheck. Well, I lived there for the first 40 years of my life until I woke up, found Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey basically said, hey, Linnell, hey, LJ, just use basic mathematics. Yeah, the math you learned in grade school. Yeah, just use that on your finances and you'll win with money. And so I did it and got out of debt. Now I'm no longer free. At first, it was a debt-free journey, but once I took what I learned from Dave Ramsey, then I just took it a level different, not above him or beside him or whatever, just a different area, right? I show people that it's easy as using grade school math. I realized that I was no longer a slave. What's up, Mike? Once I was free, I realized I wasn't a slave, and it was so simple. All I had to do was just trust basic mathematics. So what I really do is simplify it even more than Dave Ramsey. I bring it all the way down just to the basics so people can understand how easy this is. It's really simple. And I use things that are used every day amongst slaves. I know people hear me use the word slave and they get offended, right? First of all, only slaves get offended by the word slave. Okay. Everybody knows this statement. The borrower is slave to the lender. Okay. I'm gonna say that one more time. The borrower is slave to the lender. So if you're borrowing money from the bank, The bank is the lender and you are the slave. It doesn't matter how you feel about it, okay? Math doesn't care how you feel, all right? Now, please don't confuse me with a financial advisor. That I am not, okay? I have no schooling in finance at all in college, none, zero, never been a CPA, never been a tax advisor, none of that. I'm none of that. I'm a financial coach. I'm the person you see before going to see a financial advisor. I teach you how to pick the right one. I'm the person you see before seeing an accountant. I teach you how to pick the right accountant. I'm the person you see before you go hire a CPA person. I am the person to teach you how to pick the right CPA person. Because I guarantee you this, you guys, those people that are financially free, debt free in those fields, they're there. They just don't know how to get your attention. I am going to show you how to pick those people that are waiting for you. Because there's somebody that's passionate in well, there's several people that are passionate in each one of those fields that I described, and they're debt free. So they know something that all the other CPAs and financial accountants and advisors don't know. You must do it debt free. All business starts with you. Everything starts with you. If you don't even know your own finances right now, your whole mathematical financial life doesn't make any mathematical sense. Your whole financial life, none of it makes mathematical sense. None of it. Okay. Now, Ramil talked about this earlier about people being upset at Jeff Bezos becoming the next trillionaire. let me explain something to you guys, okay? And this is for the slaves. And if you're wondering if you're a slave, okay, before we get into it, I want you to, before we get into the story and you hear me use the word slave, I want to make sure you determine right now, before we go into the story, that you're a slave. All right. Add up all your savings, add up all your debt. Savings minus debt equals how much money you have in real life. If your finances are in the negative, you're a slave. Why are you a slave? Because everybody knows this. All slaves know this statement. The borrower is slave to the lender. So if you have anything in your house with your name on it and the bank name on it, the bank is the lender. You are the slave. So I'm talking to you. Okay. If you have a finance watch and a phone in your hand, a finance watch on your wrist, and with a matching iPhone or whatever phone, you are a slave. Okay. It doesn't matter how you feel about it. What's up, James? Hello, Jewel. What's up, Random? Frank, Gold, Silver, Surfer. What's going on? But anyway, I want you guys to, this is what now this is a couple of things I want you slaves to understand, okay? Because you guys just don't get it. The reason why you're a slave is because you don't trust mathematics. That's the only reason why. And what I'm about to tell you, the reason why you probably won't understand it, because you're an unconscious slave. You don't understand because you don't trust math, basically. And let me make sure it's clear. The reason why you're not going to understand what I'm going to say is because you don't trust math. Okay? If you are in student loan debt and you're upset about Jeff Bezos, you need to stop. And that has nothing to do with you. Nothing. You're in student loan debt. You have no idea what a billionaire is doing. If you don't even know how much debt you're in. If your student loans are older than the phone in your hand, don't worry about what he's doing. Don't worry about being upset about what he's doing. You have not a clue of what he's doing. If you're a person in student loan debt, you shouldn't be quoting what any billionaire or millionaire is doing. You shouldn't be quoting any of that, because I see that happen all the time. Slaves talking about, well, so and so said, man, he said it's okay to use debt, and debt is just part of life, and he earns more money in debt. Yeah, that's true, but he's not talking to you. You're confusing their debt as the same debt as yours. It's not the same. You just think the word, just because the word is used, you just don't understand that it means something different for you, especially if you got student loans older than your cell phone. They're not talking about you, I promise you. They're not talking to slaves. Now, to you conscious slaves out there, and you know who you are. And what I mean by conscious, you've just woken up and realized that math and money are one. If it doesn't make mathematical sense, it doesn't make financial sense. CENTS. So you guys are doing whatever it takes to get out of debt right now. You're still a slave because you're in debt, but you're a conscious slave because you're conscious of it and you trust mathematics. Once you wake up and you're in debt and you trust mathematics, you realize that you're a slave. You're like, oh, I got to do something to get out of this. Now, those are conscious slaves. Now, you conscious slaves, you guys got a tough time. You guys really do. When you hear stuff like these title of this video, hey, people are upset at Jeff Bezos making billions or trillions of dollars. You know they're just upset because they're not going to ever make that kind of money in their life. They don't even know where to begin. You know why? Because they're in student loan debt. You should not be thinking about millions and trillions and billions of dollars while you're $50,000 in student loan debt that you've had for 20 years. That doesn't make any sense in the world. Only slaves get upset about another person earning that much money. Only slaves do that. You conscious slaves, don't say things like that on your social media. Don't get on the bandwagon because it's gonna be tough for you guys. You guys are gonna be riding the fence back and forth because of all the unconscious slaves around you doing the things that you used to do, not that you do now. So if you still of course you're going to still have unconscious friends as slaves. If you can tolerate it, it's totally up to you. But if you want to still be their friend, you got to pretend to be them. Okay, you got to, hey, yeah, that's Jeff Bezos, man, he's an a-hole for making that you got to pretend to be them if you want to fit in. But one day you're going to get tired of being friends with people like that, with unconscious slaves. It's going to be like drip torture. You stay steady on the track. Stay steady, man. I guarantee you the reward is beautiful once you get out of debt. Keep going. Don't stop. You cannot listen to slaves. I remember one time I heard this is maybe a year or two back that they said Amazon made some crazy amount of money and they didn't have to pay any taxes. They didn't pay no taxes. Oh man, you should have saw the slaves getting all upset. Oh my God. Oh man, they made all that money and don't have to pay taxes. See, with the rich get benefits and all this other stuff. Let me tell you something. Only slaves talk like that. Not paying taxes is against the law. All slaves got to do is just step back and say, wait a minute, that's against the law. That you can go to prison for not paying taxes. So they must mean something else. Yeah, they do. They mean something else that you can't see because you're in debt. You can't see it. It's mathematically impossible for you to see why they can post that they don't pay taxes. McDonald's don't pay taxes. Why do you think that is? Why do you think they just post it? If if tax evasion, tax of whatever is illegal, why do you think they're posting it openly? Because they're doing something different than you cannot see. You can't see it. So if you're one of the slaves upset about his Jeff Bezos making that much money and all this stuff, I remember there's the link to the title of the article I was reading is in the description of this video, right? And it goes, the title says, "Oh, Jeff Bezos, the world's first trillionaire or something like that." Let me tell you something, you guys. I want you to understand something. If he becomes a trillionaire, he's just the only trillionaire you are going to be able to see. That sentence is not finished. It means to say he'll be the first trillionaire that the slaves will see. If you believe he's going to be the first trillionaire, you're insane. That's insanity to think like that. To even know that type of information, that's generations above my pay grade. Generations. I'll be long dead before I even have a hint of who's running. That's whoever is up in that area position, whatever you want to call it. I'll be long dead. I think my great grandchildren will probably be the first to find out. As long as they stay on the track of what I teach right now, my great grandchildren will probably be right on the edge to finding out who's really running stuff. I'll be long dead. That's generations above my pay grade. That's why I don't. If you guys notice, that's why I don't really get upset at people that say things that about opposite of what I say. It doesn't matter. It just when you see the slaves disagree with me, they're just disagreeing with math, and that in itself is insanity. That's insane. You're disagreeing with math? Okay, well, that's nothing to argue about. I'm not gonna argue with an unconscious slave. I just don't do things like that. I don't care if you don't trust mathematics. That's your problem. That's not my problem. Right, Tony. I cheer for him, man. Congratulations, man. Congratulations, Jeff. Congratulations. One day, hopefully I'll be there. You put in your work. You did it. Congratulations, Jeff. 2020 is his year. Out of this whole economy, what's going on right now, he he got it. He can't. I don't even know a place that is in better position than him. Like he's just the king on the chessboard and just sitting right in the middle of the board, right there. Everything. Nobody can touch him. Nothing. All his chess pieces on the board. They're surrounding him. Everything. He's just chilling. That man, listen, that man can literally make more money in sleeping for an hour. He can make the amount of money most people make in a year. He can make in an hour sleeping in his bed. Sleeping in his bed, he can make more than you in a year. When I see a person like that, you know what I see? Unlimited possibilities. I see Jeff sitting there. Don't get me wrong. I see Jeff in that place, but I don't think Jeff is special. He's just Jeff. According to his license, it says Jeff Bezos. That's about it. That's all I know about Jeff. That's all I don't look at him as any different than me. I don't see him any different than me, I promise you. In my mind, the only difference between Jeff and me, more people know Jeff than me. That's it. That's all. There's nothing different. Gabriel says, "Hey man, he created jobs. That's the way I look at it. Exactly, he created jobs for sure." Dave Sincere says, yeah, Jeff Bezos don't give one shit about what the slaves are thinking. He's too busy to even let it come across. Oh, yeah, he don't even, you better believe, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I'm nowhere near Jeff Bezos' money, okay? Nowhere near. And I don't even listen to slaves. I don't even, you guys, I don't even hear slaves unless I put my focus on them and see if they're directly addressing me. If a slave directly addressed me and then I turn to them and see that they're directly addressing me, okay, then I'll focus in on them and listen. But outside of that, I don't even hear slaves. Don't even listen to them. People kill me. They're just mad because they don't have money. They're not a millionaire or billionaire. They're haters. They're just unconscious slaves. Just like Gabriel said, they're just unconscious slaves. They don't know. And you know what, Dave? That'll help you take your feelings out of it. Even when family members come up to you and be upset about borrowing money, you don't let them borrow money. You know, you just take your feelings on it and say, "Hey, I know they're unconscious slaves. They don't even know what they're saying. They don't unconscious slaves. Listen to me closely. Unconscious slaves have no idea that nothing they say makes any mathematical sense. They have no idea of that. They have no idea." One second. They have no idea. Nothing they say makes any mathematical sense. They don't even understand. And no matter how I tell you, slaves, why I'm saying what I'm saying, if the business of you is not in business, anything outside of yourself will not work. It will not, it can never make mathematical sense. Add up all your savings, add up all your debt. Savings minus debt equals the number where you start counting to a million from. You say you want to be a multimillionaire? Savings minus debt equals the number where you start counting to multis of millions of dollars. That's where you start. And if you have student loans that are older than your children, no, that's not even, if you have student loans older than your phone, it will be mathematically impossible for you to ever count to a million. That's impossible. The laws of mathematics says you must start somewhere. That's what, I'm not making this up. So savings minus debt equals if you're still in business or not. If your finances are in the negative, the business of you is not in business. So if you're not in business, don't try to understand the business of Jeff Bezos. You can't. That's impossible. You can't. Gabriel says, "I'll find out. Trust me." You know what, Gabriel? You probably will. You're young enough. You probably will meet the right people. Not even probably. You will, because they'll see you. All right, Gabriel. They'll see you. They'll see what you're doing. They'll see how you're talking. They'll see you. Because trust me, that's what's happening to me now. People that can see beyond what I can see, they see me. So they reach out to you. Trust me, they reach out to you and they know how to speak to you so you can understand that they know what they're talking about. So random people are mad at Jeff, but won't even put in the work to get out of debt. Well, again, they are unconscious slaves. Unconscious slaves. Now listen, okay. And I want you to follow me slowly. This is for you conscious slaves and you unconscious slaves that want to listen. Okay? You got to listen closely. The reason why you're in debt is because you don't trust math. You also have a pattern. You have a pattern. Your pattern is this: you don't trust math. Anything you do with finances will never make any mathematical sense because you don't trust math. That is your pattern. The hard part is that the reason why you're unconscious, you don't know you don't trust math. That's why you don't know that you're unconscious. So if you don't know you don't trust math, that means you don't know anything you do investment wise, anything to do with finances. You don't know that nothing you say doesn't make any mathematical sense. You don't even know it. So if you don't know it, that means you're saying it. You're saying something that you don't mathematically know you're saying. So it tells people that understands money that you clearly don't know what you're saying. Because if you're an account, put it this way, if you're an accountant who's in debt, you don't know what you're saying. If you are a tax person that owes the IRS money, you don't know what you're saying. If you're some kind of tax CPA person, tax lawyer, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter what your job title is. And I want you unconscious slaves to understand this. It doesn't matter what a person's job title is. If they're in debt, messing with taxes and money, they don't understand what they're saying. Now, if you come across one of these people, you ask them, hey, do you still have your student loans? If they tell you yes, and they've had them for 20, 30 years, you ask them, why do you have those for 20, why do you have those for 10 or 20 years, 10, 30, 20, 10, 20, 30 years? Why do you have them that long? You, you make them respond with an answer. You make them respond with an answer. And I'm going to tell you right now, there is no answer. If they try to justify keeping the student loans that long, you get up and leave their office because it will never make any mathematical sense. And if they don't know that personally, that means the rest of their financial information that they're going to give you will never make mathematical sense because you're getting it from a debt perspective. It must make mathematical sense. Enigma Gray Man says, this is the point I tried to make yesterday about Junior Brigman. Once you get out of debt, that's when true wealth building starts, and there's no limit to what you can build. I agree 100%. Once you get out of debt, you'll see there are no limits. That's why Jeff Bezos is where he is right now. Do you think Jeff Bezos thinks about money? You only people in debt, just because it's announced that he's about to become a trillionaire. Do you think he's just jumping around for joy, talking about, oh my God, I can't wait till I'm a trillionaire? I bet you money is the furthest thing from his brain. Guaranteed. I guarantee he don't even think about money. When you have that much money, you don't even have to get out of debt, and you will see. Put it this way: when you simply just get out of debt, you won't even be thinking about money. The reason why you slaves think about money is because you're in debt. The reason why you slaves talk about grinding 24 hours a day, grind, 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 is because you're running from debt. You don't know you're in debt. You don't even know money doesn't even exist for you. You don't even understand why you're grinding 24 hours a day. You think you're trying to glorify it. I don't want to do that. There's no way in hell I want to grind 24 hours a day. Hell no. Why don't you just sit back, look at your social timeline, and look at the comments. When you see something like this, Jeff Bezos hated for making trillions, and you see this on social media, don't comment. Just look inside of the comments and just read the comments. You'll see all the slaves in there. You just see them in there talking, yip yapping, talking about things they have no idea what they're talking about. Here they are struggling, paying. They don't even pay their own debts, collections, student loans, whatever, right? And then they're going to comment on a billionaire, almost a trillionaire, that has nothing to do with nothing. I like to reiterate this all the time because I want you guys to understand something about this channel. This channel will be and is unlike any other channel on YouTube. This is the only channel where you guys could come here and get financial coaching because I don't want you guys to mix me up with financial advisors. I am not a financial advisor. None. Zero. Make sure that's clear. I am not. And I'm not saying that for legal reasons. I'm just telling you, just legally and personally, don't mix me with the financial advisor. That I am not. I'm the person you see before going to see a financial advisor. I'm the person that prepares you to go see one. This channel is the only channel that can that I give you factual answers of why I'm telling you what I'm telling you. I just don't send you. You just don't walk away from this channel wondering why I'm saying what I'm saying. You're gonna always walk away saying, "Damn, his math is right." That's it. I will always be right. When it comes to finances and math, I'm telling you, I will always be right. Always. That means I will never be wrong. How many financial channels you come across that have you ever heard somebody state that? I am. I'm stating it. I will never be wrong. And you can check it. It's not really hard. Everything I say, you can check yourself. You don't need to verify with anybody. You just open up your calculator. That's it. You don't have to check with anybody. You don't have to be good in math. You don't have to be any of that. You just have to have a calculator on your phone. That's it. I'm going to be the person that changes your life. Not only your life, generations. I will make sure you're not a person like the majority of people upset about Jeff Bezos making $1 trillion. I don't want you saying things like that out loud because you don't know who's around you. Slaves don't know they financially embarrass themselves. They don't know that. You think somebody like Jeff Bezos is going to listen to somebody's advice that has a 20-year-old student loan? What? That doesn't even make sense. For people that understand money, they would you don't really get it, but they would look at you like, why would I take advice from you? That doesn't even make any sense. You don't even take your own advice. You have a 20-year-old student loan with a matching finance cell phone and watch in your hand. That doesn't make sense. That's why if you noticed on this channel, I make sure I leave out things that slaves can have opinions on. I'd leave it out. I don't talk about stuff with it's every now and then I'll make a mistake. I'll make a reference to some sports football or something or whatever, and then I mess up because I leave it open to opinion for slaves because they'll listen to the whole thing and then they'll pick out one thing and make a comment on it. That's like, damn, I left the hole open for a slave. Damn it. Talking about something that don't even matter. That's why you guys will notice that I never talk about stuff like that. It makes you never leave anything open for an unconscious slave to insert their opinion. Slaves don't understand that they cannot have opinions of when it comes to math. Their opinions don't matter. The borrower is slave to the lender. Bank equals lender, you equals slave. If you have a mortgage, bank equals lender, you equals slave. All slaves know this. So if you ever catch yourself watching the news or something or TV, and you see somebody on there and they announce how much money they make, don't hate on them. That's an unconscious slave move. Don't do that. You just say, you think to yourself, if they can do it, I can do it. They're not different. They're not any different than you. You look at Jeff Bezos and say, wow, look what's possible. Look what is possible. And each time before that, you always think nobody's going to top something else. It's like when Microsoft was the king of the world, right? Back in the day, you saw all the money they were making, Microsoft, and you just think nobody's going to be able to top them. This is computers. And then along comes Jeff. Along comes Elon Musk. I guarantee you, those people don't think like just because they made $1 billion trillion that somebody else can't come along and top them. Yes, they can. They don't think like that. I guarantee you, they know anything and everything is possible. Everything. But then again, once you get out of debt, you're not really thinking about another person because there's plenty of room for everybody. There's no competition over here. You're free to do whatever you want to do. So if you want to come and make $1 trillion like Jeff Bezos, make $1 trillion like Jeff Bezos, but you got to put in work. You got to put in, this is what, for you unconscious slaves, I want you guys to really understand something, okay? Debt is the colorblind slave master. All it sees is green. So if you stop falling for all the diversions, thinking that color has something to do with it, if you're Republican or Democrat, if you live this area, if you live over there, it has none to do with nothing. None of that has anything to do with anything. Jeff Bezos has proven it to you. He's proven it to you. He's showing you none of that matters. How is he showing you? When you jump on Amazon, do you worry about where you're buying this, whatever you're buying from, and who's it coming from? If it's black, white, Chinese, Russian, long as your package is delivered when they say it's delivered, that's all you care about, right? Debt is the colorblind slave master. Amazon doesn't care what color you are. It doesn't care. Neither do you when you click that buy button. You shop for the best deal. You click on, you put your stuff in the cart and you click buy and they tell you when it's going to arrive. You could care less where it's coming from. That's what I mean. If you look at the Amazon design for what it is, you will see how to become rich. Remove everything that adds resistance. I see you, NC Biggs. 1 second, man. Remove all resistance. Shout out to ERA for the $5 super chat. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. What's up, NC Biggs? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I just wanted to throw. I just wanted to chime in a little bit for a minute. Jeff Bezos is the reason why my life is horrible because I don't have $1 trillion right now.
He took all the money.
It's all his fault. That's why we all for the student loans and car payments. Is he's got $1 trillion. He don't need all that money.
He got all the money. That money. He took it all. That's why. He took it all. That's why we broke. He got all the money.
He's got all the money right now. Like, oh my God. No, I just wanted to chime in, man. And Jeff Bezos, I saw that video. I saw somebody else talking about it and how they were mad that he had the money. And I don't understand why that's a big deal. I don't really think about what somebody else makes. It doesn't really, I mean, I just got hit like right before I was listening to you. I just got hit with, hey man, North Carolina's talking about giving reparations. I was like, oh, okay, yeah.
Another distraction. There's another distraction.
reparations is being talked about in North Carolina, and it is. It's being talked about,
Okay.
and I'm just like, I don't even. I was like, yo, I was like, how about they put that money towards like educating people if they feel like they're not adequate enough? Like, let's focus on like better.
That's why you better not touch on that subject, man. You'll go on forever. That's why, like I said, that's why I don't talk about it. It's open to opinions. You're gonna get yourself stuck. You start talking about stuff like that.
Yeah, I know.
Sure.
I know. And it just don't make sense. Because
you can't say that. You can't say that.
How do you dedicate that money to like specific groups of people? You don't even know where they came from.
You can't say that. You can't say that.
You don't know where they came from, though. Like,
you can't say that. You can't say that out loud.
They're just gonna give.
You can't say that. Good luck. If me and you were together and you open that conversation up about a bunch of unconscious slaves, I will walk away. I'll say, hey, I say, Daniel, I'll meet you at dinner. I say, see you later. You'd be like, LJ, where you going? I said, that's your bad. I'm out. See you.
I just don't understand. Like, it's just like, oh man, I'll
be like, Uber. Yeah, I'm out.
I mean, it's just like you're just gonna throw money at everybody like they're gonna do the right thing with their money. Like that's not gonna. Then you're just gonna give it back. Why would just go ahead and take the reparation money, right? That they're talking about giving everybody. Just give it to Jeff Bezos and them, because that's what we're giving it to anyway.
Yeah, you just the middle. They're just the middle people. They're just the middle people. They don't know that.
Because they're not going to use that money to build themselves. They're just going to use that money to give to Jeff Bezos.
Why do you think it's called stimulus money? Why do you think that is? So it can stimulate the economy.
Nike is making a fortune right now. Nike is killing it.
That they are. They're killing the game.
By the way, I've been watching that The Last Dance. I don't know if you watched it. It's on Netflix.
What's it called?
The Last Dance with Jordan. That
oh no, yeah, I watched that. Oh yeah, I watched that.
Yeah, I haven't finished it yet.
He's an alien for sure.
Bro, like everything he's saying is crazy. It's like
it's crazy.
It's like it's crazy, man. And I'm gonna tell you, your audience needs to like really watch that and look at it a different aspect, not the way everybody else is looking at it. They need to look at it from, man, this dude is focused on bettering himself. That's all he cares about, and bettering the people that are around him so that he can succeed in the goals he wants. People don't look at it like that. Everybody's like, well, he's got all that money, he should be changing stuff. He's like, man, I'm not here to be a role model. I just want to do me. You know, I didn't sign up for that. Y'all
you don't realize, hey, Dan, you don't realize how many people can't see it the way we see it.
It's crazy how that dude is intense. I was actually more motivated watching him because I felt like, man, I don't think I even go that far. And I gotta go that far.
Right.
You know?
That when I watched that, man, when I got done watching Jordan's thing, I was like, I gotta step my game up.
That's what you feel like, because because he says he's competitive about everything. This dude was competitive. He was so competitive he wouldn't wear the Adidas. He put the flag over the Adidas side. So when he went to the Olympics, that dude was crazy. That dude is competitive as can be. He's like, yo, I'm about to. I thought that. You should talk about that in one of your videos.
Yeah, and so crazy when he was talking, he was narrating when he's sitting down talking about even his age now. You can still see it's still him. It's still him.
Yeah, he's the same way. Same way. He hasn't changed. He might have gotten a little bigger because he don't work out like he used to. But that's
not his physical size. I'm just talking about his mental. You could tell.
That's what I'm saying. His mental. Yeah. He doesn't. He may be a little older now, but he's the same guy.
Same guy.
Same guy. Like same guy with the same attitude, same principles, and he's got the same goal. He's very he's probably still very competitive. I don't think that he's lost that at all. It's just crazy. But yeah, I think Jeff Bezos is probably the same way. He looked at an opportunity and saw something that nobody else saw, a market that nobody else saw. He took advantage of it.
That's what he did.
and he's made himself very competitive. And so, and I mean, he's got groceries being delivered to people's houses. I
Yes,
mean, people
he
sleeping.
got people stuff coming to their house in an hour.
Yeah,
from ordering it.
Yeah, you can now order all your groceries on Amazon, Amazon and everything. He's got everything, and it's convenient. It's the convenience of it all too. It's the he got, and then that's not even counterfeit. He got movies on his site.
Yes.
He got everything. You go to Amazon. He's made everything convenient for everybody.
He took everything that the people opposed. He took all the race out of it. He took out Republican, Democrats. Everything's out of it. When you go to Amazon, you don't think about none of that. You just go there to buy. Period.
Right. And everything you can buy anything that is legally allowed to be bought in America. You can buy it. And the thing is, he doesn't stop. He doesn't stop anywhere he goes. He does it all over the world. So
yes, congratulations to him, man. Congratulations to him.
Do you know that his thing was just a bookstore when it first started?
Yes,
he turned it from a bookstore into that.
He started where I was born in Seattle. That's where he started.
Wow.
I always heard about him when I was in. Even when I wasn't where I was at now. I would still hear about him. You couldn't help but hear about how he was growing. And then when you hear the story, it started just a bookstore. Now he's the biggest person in the freaking world. That's crazy.
You know, everybody was talking about him last year because he had his big divorce, and I think that's why everybody thought that when he got a divorce and he lost half his personal money, but didn't lose Amazon. Right. Everybody felt like, oh well, now he's down. He's been dropped the peg. He's been defeated. This man has gone even further beyond.
That's slave talk.
Right.
That's oh man, he lost half his fortune. You mean half of $500 million? You think he's broke now? Oh my God, man. I can't believe Jeff. I'm like, I just want to go, do you hear what you're saying? You don't even hear what you're saying. You think Jeff is hurt because he lost $500 million and he got to split that with his wife, and he still owns Amazon. He'll make that back up in a year. He's not even thinking about that stupid nonsense. The only slaves think like that.
Yeah, they were like, oh, he lost $1 trillion. He was the first trillionaire, and then he lost half of it. So, oh, he's beaten, he's defeated, and then now he's back already. And everybody's like, why he back so quick? Why he made all that money so quick?
Look, this is what I heard too. Oh, Jeff Bezos, he's a simp. Look at him. He lost it. See, that's what, and this is what they start talking about. That's why I never get married, man. You get a woman and she takes that. It's like, hey, you got student loans. Don't worry about what Jeff and his wife are doing. That has nothing to do with you. Nothing. Don't compare yourself. Don't compare yourself with the women you date and all this other stuff. That has nothing to do with nothing.
This dude been divorced for a year. He done came back. He got a new woman, and he's got $1 trillion again.
He ain't never lost.
Around the same.
It ain't even coming back, Daniel. It ain't even coming back. He never lost. Okay, there is no comeback when you ain't lost. You lost.
Don't call him a comeback, I guess.
Yeah, he never left. Only slaves thought he left. Only slaves thought that. I didn't think that for 1 second.
I was just like, he got Amazon. He's not going to lose. Like,
oh yeah,
he'll be a trillionaire again just soon. And he's not even, like you said, he's not thinking about it.
Well, plus,
but I just wanted to throw in.
I believe he's still working on making it better because there's some kid out there that's figuring it out. Jeff Bezos is not an idiot. There's some kid out there trying to figure out the next big thing over Amazon. Right? And one day there's going to be something bigger than Amazon. It is.
I mean, is Amazon's there? Walmart's actually turned it into Amazon.
Yes,
you go to their website.
I saw that.
Yeah, their website now is definitely now just like Amazon. They're like and they're turning on their Sam's Club. They're not selling they're closing the Sam's Club.
Right, they're going to use them as facilities. Yeah,
they're going to use them as storage facilities for their stuff, just like Amazon. Yep. And now they'll have different. They'll just turn them because they're already warehouses. Sam's Clubs are all warehouses already, so they're just turning them into distributing centers, and that's it.
And you better believe,
And
like right now, and this is what I see. This is just my opinion. This is just my opinion. Costco better be worried. Costco's, they better be
yeah,
worried, man. They better be worried. They better
yeah,
because first I thought when they closed down when Walmart closed down the Sam's Clubs, I was like, oh, they ain't messing with Costco. Nah, they're just restructuring. They're about to be
yeah,
like Amazon. Now Costco's got to worry. They got to
yeah.
worry.
Because they taking on they know where the market is. They said
Yeah.
I think like maybe 2 years ago we hadn't even hit 10% of all of the market, and now everything is online because you have no choice. You have to go
Yes.
to, you either do that or go risk Corona. So
Yeah. Yeah.
so you don't have a
Yeah.
choice now. And even if tomorrow they come out with a cure and everybody was just sprayed with it and
Hmm.
everything, nobody's going back to the way it was
No.
before when it
Uh-uh.
comes to sales.
That's
So it's
gone.
it's over.
The old way is gone forever. It's gone.
Yeah, it's
Hmm.
gone. It's dead. So you absolutely right. I feel like only thing Jeff Bezos doing now is just trying to make sure he stays and maintains his kingdom.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Well, anyway, I'm gonna let you go. I know
All right, man.
you were speaking it, man. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Thanks for jumping on, man.
No problem.
All right, later. Shout out to Allie for the $10 super chat, sir. I think the government would step in and break Amazon up before they got to that level. Government has the ability to break up monopolies. Well, yeah, but they're not. Amazon's not threatening anybody. Amazon is creating jobs. The government wants entities that create jobs. Once you get out of debt and create something, and you start creating something big enough to create jobs and housing and all whatever, that they reward you with tax breaks. So Amazon's not really threatening to anybody. It's Amazon is just evolution. That's it. That's it. Nothing more than that. Evolution. Gibber says Jeff Bezos can start a country with that money. Let's see. Gabriel says, I'm a kind-hearted ultra alien. Until they pull out a credit card and then you turn into a crazy alien. Ali says, I think if someone is providing value like Jeff Bezos, then they should be able to make vast amounts of money. But at what point does money become too much money? Well, I think they don't even think about money. I think once you get to a certain level, and I'm only speaking from experience, I'm not rich, but once I got out of debt, I don't think about money like that. And I can only imagine if I made millions of dollars, money would be the very last thing on my brain. I promise you it would. I wouldn't even think about money. Ali says we should have a cutoff point. If you get to 100 billion net worth, then you win capitalism. You get a congratulatory card and $100 gift card to PF Chang's. Yeah, okay. Yeah. That's funny. Yeah. See, that's why I never get married. Yeah. E-Man says, they've totally bastardized the term simp, just like they did with alpha and beta select and nonsense. Yeah. That's why I don't really listen to words anymore, because everybody's definitely when you hear somebody say a word, you guys, especially when it comes to money, you got to ask them, what do they mean? When somebody says rich, you got to ask them, what is rich to you? Hey, that's good debt. What is good debt to you? Hey, that's bad debt. What is bad debt to you? Oh, I can't stand Jeff Bezos. He's making all that money. Why do you hate Jeff Bezos? Because he's earning all that money. Why? Unless people stop buying his products. Yeah. E-Man says, yep, it'll be easy to transition from Sam's to Walmart. Sure will. Enigma says Jeff Bezos makes $3,182 each second of every day. I'm sure he does. E-Man says, I think the Waltons are the only ones that can challenge Amazon because they have the infrastructure and they connections. Plus, they have a big family. I just think people think about that kind of stuff differently. I don't think on that side of the thing it's about challenges and all this other stuff. People on that level of money, they know it's enough money for everybody. Okay, there's plenty of money for and having the most money it's not everybody's goal. I want people to understand that having more money doesn't mean that's the only way you're going to be happy. I promise you. Get out of debt, and you'll know how much money will make you happy. Okay, I promise you. You know, it's like, what's up, Nicole? It's like when insurance people say this question to broke people, unconscious slaves. Hey, how much money do you think it's going to take for you to retire? You know, and they don't even know how much debt they're in. Listen, if you don't even know how much debt you're in, and you're asked the question, hey, how much money do you think it's going to take for you to retire? That's a trick question. Okay, you don't know that you're in debt. You don't even know how much debt you're in. You're definitely not going to know how much money it's going to take for you to retire because you're in debt. Always, always look at it this way, slaves, unconscious slaves. Listen to me closely, okay? If you if you can't retire today, it's gonna be the same way tomorrow, the day after that, and the day after that. It's gonna be the same way 5 years from now. It's gonna be the same way 10 years from now. If you don't even know how much debt you're in today, it's gonna be that same way 10, 20 years from now. So that's a trick question. Okay, it doesn't that's just a sales tactic. They know you don't know the answer. You don't even know how much debt you're in. Of course, you don't know the answer. So you're going to believe whatever you see on TV. Maybe it's 1 million, 5 million, I don't know, 10 million. What the number doesn't matter. Savings minus debt equals how much money you have to buy whatever they're selling you. If your finances are in the negative, you don't even have any money to buy anything. It doesn't matter. Gabriel says, I want to know who created credit cards. Cosmic, what's going on? Jeff Bezos is beyond money, more like influence and power. Yep. I think he I think he challenged the Pentagon when they didn't choose Amazon Cloud for a cloud contract. Oh wow. Yeah, they probably made that move on purpose. Right there. If when Atlee said that earlier with his statement now about the monopoly. I believe if the Pentagon gave Amazon that contract, something that I'm going by what Cosmic saying, but if that, can you imagine that now that would be a monopoly? Okay, if he would have got the contract, now that's something that's dangerous. Okay, I can clearly see why they would not do that. Okay, that would be looked upon, in my opinion, as a monopoly. That's my opinion. That would be too much. I mean, it says I missed it. What is Sam's Club up to? Oh yeah, they've closed. They did this a long time ago. They closed down a bunch of their Sam's Clubs, but they didn't sell them. They're going to use them as warehouses as they slowly transition into the Amazon model. Ali says in the future, more and more people will be working for Amazon. All those people that work low skilled jobs and lost their jobs will probably end up working for Amazon. You're exactly right, Ali. You're exactly right. That's exactly right. All of the above is true. That is true. You're right. Because millions of jobs are lost. Millions of businesses have gone out of business. People that worked at their job for 10, 20 years. They only had that skill, so they don't have any skills outside of that skill. Now they have to take what they can get. That's exactly right. Amazon is going to Amazon. Any you got to remember the majority of jobs are turning 1099. Okay, those are now. Can you imagine how many? You guys don't even get it. Can you imagine how many people Amazon can hire to deliver their packages even faster? They hire contractors, 1099 people, to use their own cars to deliver packages. Can you imagine how fast Amazon is going to be able to deliver people's packages now? That's like lightning speed. People that get paid daily, that's the new slavery, man. People that get paid daily, if they couldn't even check this out. If people are living paycheck to paycheck and they got used to paying, getting paid every week, every 2 weeks, let's just say 2 weeks, and they were living paycheck to paycheck and couldn't even make it to their next paycheck. Now, when they switch over to day to day, you think they're going to handle that even any better? No. Guess what? They're going to do that. They're going to spend, they're going to be living check to check, but day to day. And guess what else they're not going to be paying? They're not going to be paying their taxes. Oh my goodness, it's just going to get bigger and bigger. You're right. Competition is good. You're right, Nicer. Brittany says, wait until Amazon gets into the pharmaceuticals. Man, they're almost there. Oh, they're already, Brittany. Okay, see, Cosmic already know. See? E-Man says that's probably why they didn't give it to him. That's probably, hey man, E-Man, as we're talking about it, I believe so. That's just my opinion. I was just told about it right now. I'm just making the connection just from what I see. That would be pretty damn close to a monopoly, if any. That would be too close. Too close. No, we're gonna give it to somebody else. That's got to be important. Cosmic Wisdom says Jeff Bezos also owns the Washington Post, so he is on the power and influence track. Wow. Yeah, Brittany says, well, there goes CVS and Walgreens. Who knows how Jeff is going to do it now? You start doing some takeovers. Okay, that sounds like a monopoly. Okay, all right. We're gonna have to step in there. But if you just keep his stuff online, try not to take over everybody else, outside of Amazon. Okay, cool. He's got to be careful. Okay, he doesn't want to get slapped in as a monopoly, and you start just taking over everybody. Everybody got to work for you. That's a problem. Okay, but you can create something. You can look at it two ways. You could see what he's doing, and you could say, hey, I'm gonna come up with something of my own, because there's something out there that Jeff hasn't thought of. Okay, don't ever think that he's thought of everything. He hasn't. I promise you, he hasn't. E-Man says, LJ, I'm watching an Amazon courier as you speak. Exactly. You guys, just listen. If you wanna, sorry, you got to hear this buzzing in the background. This guy's trimming the hedges and stuff. I hope you guys can't hear that too much. Hold on. Right here by the window too. Amazon on Whole Foods, they sure do. The man literally trying to take over the world. Congratulations, Jeff. Take over the freaking world if you need to. Do it. But at the same time, wait, hold on, you guys. Oh man, right by the freaking window. I thought he was done. Oh, shoot. Sorry. All right, we just got to deal with it. I can't do anything about it. Apple also has tremendous power because they are holding tons of cash. I believe over 100 billion. If they wanted to do, they could also challenge companies and drive them out of business. Yeah, they could do that too, but Apple don't have to do any of that. They got their people. If you're an Apple junkie, you cannot leave their ecosystem. They got you all. That's one thing smart about Apple. They don't really have to worry about stuff like that. They tie everybody into the ecosystem. People are afraid to leave Apple, right? What about all my apps? Do they get to come? Nope, they sure don't. Then they'll just stop. That alone will stop people from leaving Apple. However, economically, a duopoly is the best for consumers, because they'll both fight with each other to lower their prices and get more. I don't know. I don't think like that. Slaves are slaves. It doesn't matter. I'm not, if Apple takes over, who cares? Or do whatever, Amazon, whatever. But just like you said, when you can't have a company monopolize. So if they're big as they are, and then all of a sudden they get a defense Pentagon contract, that's big. I could see that being a problem. And that's nowhere near my level of even having any kind of discussion with talking about that. But I'm just looking at the outside view. That would be probably a no different than a phone company, Verizon, buying out every single you know, AT&T, and then they bought out Sprint. Okay, now you're locking us into a monopoly. Gabriel says, what happens if people stop working on Amazon and protest? They won't. That'll never happen. They're in debt, Gabriel. They're slaves. Slaves will not, that will never happen. People love Amazon. You think they're going to tolerate their packages not being on time? No, they're going to pay. Okay, that people are addicted to Amazon. They're addicted to the time they get their stuff. People are addicted to having stuff delivered to their house. They don't have to go anywhere. They are addicted. That will never happen. Cosmic says they are not going to stop working, Gabriel. Too many people looking for work. They'll just hire others. Sure will. You better not be working for Amazon and think you're irreplaceable. You better not do no stupid idiot stuff like that. Don't ever think that. Especially if you're on the floor doing the packaging stuff, you better not think for 1 second that you are not replaceable right now. None. Don't get me wrong. Dave Sincere says Amazon let the U.S. government use their facial recognition software to analyze faces of people in videos that were vandalizing and causing property damage during the riots in June. Amazon decided to stop licensing out to the government once they brought in federal troops who were violent towards protesters. Dave, the government uses there's a lot of companies tech, including my own. The government will just take it. Muhammad says, I will be a billionaire someday. Yes, you will. All you got to do is just say it. But when you say it, Muhammad, you got to mean it. The universe is not fooled. Not saying that you're not meaning it. I'm just saying in general, anybody listening to this, just because you say, hey, I want to be a millionaire, if you don't mean it inside, the universe knows if you mean it or not. I promise you. Like, let me give an example. I'm going to use myself as this. You see what I speak about this channel, SMD? Do you think I'm joking? Does it seem like I'm sort of serious? Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe I'm just guessing. Maybe I don't know I'm going to be big as I don't know what. I'm going to be one of the biggest people on YouTube. You think I'm joking about that? You think I'm unsure? Does it sound does it sound like in my voice that I'm unsure of what I'm about to be, what I'm capable of? There are no limits, especially in this area, in money. Let me tell you guys something. In personal finances, I cannot be topped. And when I say top, not top, if they don't believe in mathematics, they're not even in the same area with me. They're not even in the same realm if they don't believe in mathematics. Tony says convince is a drug that both Amazon and Apple does well. Yes, they do it well. Congratulations, Amazon, Apple. You guys are good. If listen, and I want you guys to listen closely. Listen. If Apple can get unconscious slaves to stand in line to finance a phone. I'm gonna say that one more time. If Apple can get hundreds of thousands of unconscious slaves to finance a depreciating object with interest with a matching watch, what does that tell you? What does that tell you? Do you think a person that understands money would ever in a million years in public on camera get filmed doing it, standing in line to finance a depreciating object with interest? Never in a million years would somebody that understands money would ever be seen doing that. Unconscious slaves film themselves doing it. They film themselves, they put themselves on social media, showing themselves doing it. First of all, you don't have to stand in line to buy anything anymore. Those days been done for years, let alone stand in line and listen and camp out. Slaves will camp out in line to finance something that goes down in value, to finance it, and film themselves doing it. Hey, everybody, look at all my friends. And then your friends are the friends that are cheering you on, they're slaves too. Slaves are unconscious slaves, just doing whatever they do. Just hey, they just and they don't again, they don't know they're doing it. They don't know if they trusted math, if slaves trusted math, there is no way in a million years they would tape themselves live on their Facebook, showing themselves standing in line to finance a depreciating object. LJ, one day will you grow your business big enough to make jobs? Yes. Oh yeah, most definitely. Same thing with Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey built his business big enough to now he employs people. Gabriel says I could care how much money I make, only how much time I get. How much time you have. What's up, Amizi? What's going on? Amina says, when you make your jobs, LJ, hire me. I sure will. I know exactly who to hire. Better believe it. Mohammed says, I have a plan for a new app. I have a unique idea. I can hear by the way you're saying it. And I want you to, and Muhammad, I want you to hear me, okay? Listen to what I'm saying. I have found my passion. I have found it. The only thing that is missing, people don't know who I am yet. That's it. That's the only thing that's missing from my equation. Everything, and the reason why I know that I found it, so you'll know, Muhammad, everything I say can be verified 100% to be true with mathematics. Everything I'm saying. That means I'm never wrong, ever. Ever. And when you know, Muhammad, when you find whatever it is that you found, this is what you'll hear. You'll hear a total stranger say to you, "Hey, Muhammad, you've changed my life. This is amazing." Things that are not accidentally said, things that when you hear somebody say, "You've changed my life," that people don't accidentally say that to other people. This is what you'll know when you find if this is what you're doing that you love and you just like, man, this is unique. If you know it's unique, the only person that has to know it's unique is you. So congratulations. Gabriel says, if I ever work with LJ, I'll just be having fun. Exactly. You won't even be feeling like work. It won't even feel like work, Gabriel. I can tell I might have to have you leave the room a few times because as soon as they mention credit card, you're going to flip out and start throwing stuff all over the room, busting tables. I'm saying, hey, somebody get Gabriel out of here. Gabriel, they are allowed to share their story. And yes, they have credit cards involved. Okay. You cannot do that in the boardroom, Gabriel. Cosmic says, tells me that the marketing campaign Apple paid for works. And when you tell your friends that's free advertisement, sure is. Hey, now let me make sure you guys understand something too, okay? Because I really want you guys to understand something. Apple makes quality products. Okay, let me make sure that's just right off the bat. Apple makes quality products. I got my Mac. I just don't have their phone. I don't like people dictating my phone like that. But their touch screen is unmatched on the iPhones, unmatched touch screen. Okay. I've not had an Apple iPhone for like 5-6 years, and there's still nothing like the Apple touchscreen. Nothing. They're ahead of the game on messaging. You can message anybody and it goes through the internet. You're not restricted by your provider. Absolutely amazing. Congratulations, Apple. Congratulations. Their product, I have a Mac. I don't even need virus software on my Mac. I don't even need virus software. Don't even need it. I'm not suggesting you don't. I'm just telling you myself. I don't even need virus software. When I had Windows, there's no way I'm going to get on the internet without virus software. Not saying that there's no viruses on Macs. Okay, let me make sure you're clear on that. There's way less than Windows. Yes, you are, Gabriel. Cosmic says, tells me. Oh, yeah, I already said that. Okay. Competition is human nature. Sure is. That's just human nature. And there's different types of competition, though. There's like when you're a slave, you're unconscious slave. You think everybody, you believe what you see on TV. Rich people are evil. Everybody's trying to step on everybody and trying to do people wrong to get ahead. No, that's only amongst slaves. I promise you, that's only amongst slaves. Any questions? Here, I'm gonna keep putting this link up here if you guys want to join. Make sure these things ain't gonna go 3 hours like everybody seems it's gonna, but especially when I just come up with my own topics, I'm not gonna be talking for 3 hours. So here is just in case. If you're new to the channel, don't be shy. If you have any questions during the show, don't be shy. You can ask me during the show. You don't have to ask me in the background. You don't have to ask me in a comment. Be part of the SMD family. I think I always put my, I don't know. Here's my Cash App, because a lot of people write me and say, "Hey man, what's your Cash App?" And I thought I put it up there enough, but here it is. I appreciate you guys all for the Cash App donations. If you want a consultation with me, here's my email address. You can email me at savings-debt.com. Savings-debt.com, and we can get on. Hold on for a second, Gold Professor. I see you there. What's up, Gold Professor? How you doing? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Hello. Wait a minute. Let me see if it's me. 1 second. I might have. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
Hey.
I had came across your channel, and I'm trying to listen to your videos, and
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, I wanted to come up and kind of in an
Appreciate it.
indirect,
Thank you.
formal way.
I appreciate it.
Because I've emailed with you.
I remember that. I remember you.
And, inquiring, because
Mm-hmm.
I have I'm always trying to get myself together, keep myself together, get
Mm-hmm.
myself together financially.
Mm-hmm.
So somehow I landed on your channel.
Mm-hmm. Okay, welcome. I appreciate it.
So yeah.
You got
I
any
just
questions of me?
well
Get it while it's free. Get it while it's hot.
well, because you did one video. It was, you was talking to this one person. He was, he had 15,000 in savings, but he was $37,000 in debt.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you remember that video.
It sounds familiar. It sounds familiar.
Yeah. And I was thinking like, okay, um I didn't understand with that, with how when I was listening to the video, I was like, okay, I'm somewhat getting it.
Mm-hmm.
Um um Now my question is,
Mm-hmm.
what would be, I mean, as I said, I still have to, go and continue looking at your videos,
Mm-hmm.
but what would be good debt versus bad debt?
That's a good question. All right. Very good question. So I always answer everything I give you is a mathematical answer. Okay, so you understand that it's just math. Okay.
Okay.
Never ever describe debt. Debt is just debt. There is no such thing as good debt. There is no such thing as bad debt. That doesn't
Okay.
that doesn't exist. So when somebody tells you, they say, "Hey, a house is a good debt." The first question I would ask, "Who, to you?" That's what I would say to that person if they told me a mortgage is good debt. I would say, to you, it's not. It's just debt. It's not good or bad. It's debt. See what I'm
Okay.
saying? Or if somebody would say, "Hey, man, I'm going to invest this $5,000 into Apple stock because it's going to quadruple." So they'll borrow the money to invest, and then they will call that good debt. I would ask that person, "How much debt are you in? Because you had to borrow the $5,000, so that must mean you didn't have the money. So that's bad debt. That's debt. You added additional debt. It's not good debt." So if somebody tells you to
Uh-huh.
invest, I would ask, "Do you have student loans?" And if they said yes, I wouldn't listen to them because everything they say wouldn't make any mathematical sense after that point. So it would be all just debt. You see what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Because
Okay.
some
Yes,
people would say
sir.
a mortgage is, like, for example, let me give you the last example. Some people would say a mortgage is good debt, and then they would call themselves homeowners. People with mortgages are loan owners. It's just debt. They're not homeowners. They're loan owners. That's debt. So it's not good or bad. It's just debt.
Uh-huh.
Got it?
Okay.
Mhm.
But is the debt beneficial in any kind of way?
No debt in the world is beneficial.
Okay. Okay.
Debt is just debt. Borrower is slave. Always remember this because everybody knows this. The borrower is slave to the lender. Okay. So if you get a mortgage, that means the bank is the lender and you're the slave. So if whatever debt you consider is good debt, you're saying this is okay to be a slave for this.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So I wouldn't consider any debt good if you're going to be a slave for it. That makes sense?
Uh-huh. So yes, sir. I understand I understand clearly what you.
You're kind of going in and out. I'm not sure if that's me or
So
you. Can you hear me?
and I can hear you. I can hear
Okay,
you.
go
Can
ahead.
you hear
Go
me?
ahead. Now I can hear you clear. Go ahead.
Okay. So um if because okay, I've been wanting to get a house,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason I want to get a house is because I want a garage and to park you know my motorcycle in and blah blah blah,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I understand that you don't never pay or really pay. Who pays off a house unless you're wealthy, right? The average person is not wealthy, so you're not going to necessarily pay the house off
Mm-hmm.
unless you uh, have some type of way of where you don't feel it, like you say, you're not a slave to it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm still learning.
Oh no, these
The
are good
best way.
questions. These are good questions, and I'm gonna tell you why you're asking these questions.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just waiting till you're done.
Okay.
Mhm.
So I'm learning the best way because um, I have uh, I'm in debt now. 30,000, 30 like 32,000, right? All together, all together. So I'm trying to figure out the best way to remedy that, and get into that house I'm wanting, but not be in a position where um, it's a struggle. I'm just trying to search the best way to use the math. Be more mathematically savvy in my future dealings when it comes to getting something for me.
Okay, great, great. Now I'm gonna tell you the only way that
Okay.
you can achieve what you're asking. I'm gonna tell you the only way. There is no other way that I'm gonna tell you how to do it. Okay.
Okay.
I want you to add up all your savings and add up all your debt. And then I want you to go savings minus debt equals how much money I have for a house. Tell me how much money you have for a house.
You said you want me to add up my savings,
Correct.
subtract it from my debt,
Your total debt.
my total
And,
debt.
and then that equals how much money you have for a house. So you tell me how much money you have for a house.
So I have nothing for a house.
Okay, then the house is not an option. Now you can move that off the plate.
Okay.
See how easy I did it?
Yeah. I
And
see
listen,
how
listen,
you
and listen. No, listen. Is my math correct?
Yes.
Okay.
You're
All right.
correct.
All right.
So my question is though, so should I not buy a house?
All right.
Should I just say
This is a good question. Now I'm going to do it in particles. Okay. I mean, not
okay.
particles, in pieces. Buying a house is not an option for you. You cannot buy a house with negative dollars.
Right.
So you
Right.
got to stop thinking. You got to stop thinking you have an option to buy a house. You don't have an option.
Okay.
Okay. You see what I'm saying? Mathematically, you don't have an option to buy a house. So there's really no other reason to think about entertaining that. Mathematically
So
speaking, right? Mathematically speaking,
I get it.
mathematically speaking, you have no option to buy a house because you have no money.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Mhm.
Okay. So I'm kind of, I mean, essentially you're saying, no, just live the way you live. Don't think about a house. That's
Correct.
essentially what you're saying.
Yes, I am saying that. Not essentially, I am saying that.
Okay.
I'm not beating around the bush. That's what I am saying.
Okay.
hmm
So what happens when I pay the debt off?
Then you save money for. Then you have money for a house. You save money for a
Okay.
house.
Now, when you say save money for a house, could you be more clear with that? Am I saying, are you saying save money for a house? Well, save for a year, 2 years, 3 years, until you get a sizable down payment. Could you be more?
These are good questions. These are good questions. You cannot save a house. You cannot save any money right now because you're below zero. According to math, you can't start saving money until you get to zero first.
Okay.
So right now, so if you add up you don't even have to tell me the negative numbers. I'm just going to assume. Say like your total debt was negative $50,000. This is an imaginary number. Okay. All right.
Okay.
So in order for you to start saving money for a house, you have to go negative 49, negative 48, negative 47, negative 46, all the way up to negative 1, 0. Now anything you save will be 1, 2, 3, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 10,000, 20,000, 40,000. Now you have $40,000 saved for a house. See how I did that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's it. That's how easy it is.
Now that 40,000 would be a down payment.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
So you put that down payment down. Say the house is 360,000. Right? So you put that 40,000. Now you have 320,000. Right?
No.
That's okay.
So if you got a $360,000 house, you may have to come up with at least minimal for you to get the best mortgage in the United States of America. You have to come up with at least 20% to put down on that house. Because if you decide to get a mortgage, you're probably thinking your next step, what type of mortgage should I get? Only the best one in the United States of America. That's it. That's the only one you accept.
Okay.
Whatever that one is, I don't even know what that is. Just go to a whole bunch of big banks and say, hey, which one is the best mortgage you have? And then the bank is going to say it's going to be this one, because there is one. There is one that tops every mortgage in the United States of America. Do I know what that is? I don't know what it is. But then they're going to give you a list of requirements to get that mortgage. If you don't meet the requirements on that list to get that mortgage, you're not ready for a house.
Okay. but I'm trying to stay focused on what you said, which was I came with the 40,000, right?
Yes. Uh-huh.
And I put that 40,000 down. So I have what's
When you say
left.
40,000 down, if you're talking about the example that you're talking about, $360,000 house, I would tell you no, don't put it down because that you don't have enough money for that house.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say, hey, if you said, hey, LJ, I got 40,000 for a $360,000 house, I would say, hey, man, you can't afford that. Don't get it.
Uh-huh. Well, so uh okay. I'm just, I mean, as I said, I'm
No, and I
just trying
appreciate you,
to,
man. Don't make me feel like I'm rushing you. I want you to rephrase your because what you're doing. Okay, I'm gonna tell you what you don't know you're doing. You're trying to get around math, and it's never going to happen. So I'm going to answer your questions each time you ask me in a different way. You're trying to ask me in many different ways, but you're never going to be able to get around math. And I'm just trying to show you that. That's why I want you to be comfortable in asking these questions because I'm always going to bring it back to mathematics. So because I want you to see what you're trying to say. Okay.
okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
But okay, so I'm maybe I'm trying to, at least I think I'm trying to stay with the math
You are.
because
You trying. You're trying.
I mean, you said um you're gonna be you don't necessarily own the house, right?
Correct. If you have a mortgage, no, you don't.
If you have a mortgage,
You don't
uh,
own the house.
I'm not a wealthy person,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I've said, okay, look, I have this debt. I pay that debt off. This is where I want to go,
Mm-hmm.
right? Which is get a house because I want this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to figure out when you say, well, I'm gonna be a slave to the house. Well, isn't that I mean, how do I not become a slave to the house if if I'm acknowledging I'm not a wealthy person
Mm-hmm.
and um, this is where I want to go.
Mm-hmm.
I don't perceive me paying off the house, but if I
Mm-hmm.
can get into the house
Mm-hmm.
and pay the mortgage,
Mm-hmm.
and not be in a position where I'm stressing the mortgage,
Mm-hmm.
am I subconsciously, uh, you know,
Thinking you're what you're doing is that you don't trust math. That's what you're saying. You don't know that you don't trust math, right? You said I'm gonna just use your words. You
okay,
believe you must be wealthy to pay excuse me. You believe you must be wealthy to pay off a house. That's not true. Only slaves think like that.
okay,
That's not true. You don't have to be wealthy to have a paid off house. And I can listen to you think you believe mortgages are 30 years. Why do you believe the real problem is why do you think it takes 30 years to pay off one house? That's not true. Only slaves think like that. And I'm just telling you, outside of the debt matrix, only slaves talk like that. And then when you say, "Hey, man, if I don't have the money and I can afford the mortgage, then what? You still don't own the house. You're just paying rent instead of paying rent to a landlord. You're paying rent to the bank. You still don't own anything, but you
okay,
believe you do. See what I'm saying? And the reason why you believe you do is because you don't trust math. Because you could sit down and do the math and say, wait a minute, nobody gets a financed house on sale. No, I mean, nobody gets a financed house on sale. Anybody financing a house, the sale price of a house doesn't apply to you. You look to the back of the 30-year paperwork, that's your sale price. The only person that gets the house for sale price is the person that has cash, their own money. You see what I'm saying? And what I was
yes, sir.
saying to you before, add up all your savings, add up all your debt. Now, this is going to be the tough part for you, okay? If you
Okay,
add up all your savings and add up all your debt, that number is going to be in the negative. This is the hard part. This will be the hard part if you ever want to stop thinking the way you do. All you got to do is trust your own math at that point. You got to look at that negative number and know that that's how much you're worth. You have to trust your own math. You do the numbers yourself. You put them in your own calculator with your own hand. You don't let anybody else do it. And then when you see that large negative number, you have to say to yourself, do I believe my own math or do I not? If you say you don't believe it and you go get a mortgage, you're a slave because you just don't believe your own math. If you go get a mortgage and believe you're a homeowner when math will clearly show you that you're a loan owner, you got to say to yourself, I don't believe my own math. That's why I'm here where I'm here. That makes sense?
I get what you're saying. So I guess my question is, how do I resolve this issue?
You need a plan. And that's what I do. That's what I do for my clients. I give you the plan. I give you what you can't see right now. Why you believe you're a homeowner with a mortgage. That's why you believe you're ready to buy a house knowing that you're $30,000 in debt. I help you make that connection of why you think that. Why, it's like, for me, and I mean, and it's a lot of people. It's not just you. I'm not just saying you. This is millions of people. Okay, each person that thinks like you do believe it's individual to them. It's millions of you guys that think like that. I could say to you, hey, you're $30,000 in debt, right? Yeah, that's in the negative, right? Yeah. How much house can you buy with negative $30,000? You'll say none. Then I'll ask you, then why do you think you can buy a house? When it's not true. I help you answer that question. I create the plan.
Yeah, but
go ahead.
Yeah, but what I after the $30,000?
You're breaking up.
Once that's cleared away. What about after the 30,000? What happens after the $30,000?
Your whole world is going to change, and then I help you with that. Because you've never been debt free. I can tell by listening to you, you've never in your life been debt free. I can hear you speak. You have no idea the language of debt free even exists. I can tell. So once you get to zero, it's going to be a whole new language for you. And then you're going to see things that people in debt can't see. And then hey, here's your new plan. First, I give you a plan to get to zero. And then I give you a plan after zero.
Okay.
Because again, if you've been in debt all your life, I promise you, and I'm the reason how I connect with people with questions like what you have, I use mathematics. And that's why I ask you at the end of everything I say, is my math right? And then you say yes. And then I let you guys continue on so you can understand that nothing goes past math, nothing. It stops there. That's where it stops. But if you believe it goes past that, those are your feelings about it. Feelings, math doesn't care about people's feelings.
Wow. Yeah, I get it. I mean, this is really the first time I've went into this kind of deal or conversation.
And you know, I can tell you get it. I can tell it's clicking with you, and you probably haven't noticed it. There's long pauses. You'll pause for a long time. You probably don't even notice that you do it. That's how I know when people get it, because there's a long pause that you guys pause, and you don't even know you're pausing. That's called cognitive dissonance. You're having a moment. That's what that is. You're like, wait a minute, I've been told this all my life, and this guy comes along and he's just using mathematics, proving everything he's saying. That still doesn't make any sense. Why is everybody around me hasn't told me? Because that's how it must be. We must have more slaves than not. We need people to finance cars. We need people to finance homes and think they're homeowners with 30-year mortgages. We need people to finance phones and watches. That's how it works. That's how the economy works. It would not make it without slaves. Slaves, and when I say slave, I always want to be clear. The borrower is slave to the lender. So people don't mix up the slaves that they see on TV, think I'm talking about black people, think I'm talking about, no, the borrower is slave to the lender. That's the only slave I'm talking about.
I understand the concept.
Okay,
I get it.
cool.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. Mm,
It takes a
okay.
minute to soak in. It takes a second. How old are you?
Yeah. I mean, I'm 51.
All right. And I'm 50. Let's put it this way. Thank God you're here asking me these questions at this age. Thank God, because when if you decide to work with me and I bring you to the other side, you're going to know what that means at this age. I promise you. At 50,
Okay.
you're going to be like, damn, thank God because I woke up at 40. Thank God I woke up at 40. I would not want debt at 50.
Yeah. 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 I I ended up in in with part of the debt because I did something with my family.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of why I ended up in, because um, for the most part, only debt I had was my motorcycle,
Mm-hmm.
right? And when I did that thing for my family, that's how it increased.
Say that one more time. You're kind of breaking
So
up a little bit.
That that when I did that thing for my family,
Mm-hmm.
that's how the debt increased.
Gotcha. Uh-huh.
Uh, so because I was in a position where I um didn't really concern myself. I just had the bike. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was, you know, I'm paying aggressively paying on it, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it wouldn't be an issue, right? Not that it's
Mm-hmm.
an issue now, but um
All debt,
so
all debt is an issue. I
um,
don't care if it's $5.
okay, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't dispute you on that.
That's how you got to look at
Um,
it. Because once you get out, put it this way:
okay.
when you get out of debt, you won't care who is trying to put you in debt. Once you get out of it, family members won't matter. It won't even matter your own kids. I would never go into debt for anybody. I'm not a slave for anybody. And you see the way I'm saying that? This is how you will say it to people around you and your family members. You'll say no. They'll say, why? I'm not a slave. Oh, you think you're that? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I think I'm all that. Anything you think of in your head, I'm all that. The answer is no. You'll never do that again. You take that as a lesson, man. You do it. If it's in your name, you do whatever it takes to get out of it. Doesn't matter who caused it. If it's in your name, just take care of it. You worry about get out of debt first. You worry about that afterwards. You worry about who owes you money, who did this. If it's in your name, take care of that. ASAP.
Yeah. I think from listening to you, I think the some rewiring has to be
Correct.
language wise, especially,
I love that you
because
said
when
that because that's what I do.
yeah,
What you're saying is exactly what I do for my clients. Exactly. You're saying it. You're saying it word for word. I promise you. You're saying exactly right.
yeah,
I'm gonna give you something that nobody else can teach you. Well, I'm not gonna say nobody. That'll be 100% ego. Very few people can teach you. Very few. Very few. And it's not even hard. I'm just using the math that I learned in grade school. That's it. That's
yes,
it.
sir.
Nothing. I'm not, I promise you I'm not doing anything more fancy than the math I learned in grade school. That's it.
Okay, okay. Uh, I appreciate the conversation,
I
and
appreciate you, man.
I will continue to listen to your uh, videos,
Hmm.
and uh,
I can feel your brain thinking too. I can feel it, man. I can feel it running 100 miles an hour. I can see it.
Well, I'm interested. I'm interested.
I can hear it.
Because you remember when in my email, I asked certain questions, and here I am on. I'm researching you.
I know. Mm-hmm. Trust me, I know the people that hear me. Okay, once you get out of debt, you'll know everything I'm telling you right now because you'll have the same gift. Okay, it's a gift. All right.
Yes,
I can hear people that are you guys asking the right questions, and then next thing you know, you go from email to coming up on the channel. I know you hear me. I'm just trying to bring you in so you'll know I'm the truth because I know we're in a world of untrust, of non-trust. I get it. I totally understand why you're cautious. Hey, let me make sure this dude's legit. Make sure he ain't trying to rip me off. I get it. And everything I'm showing you, my math is correct. That's what's going to get you to understand that I'm telling you the truth because my math will always be right. It has to be the truth. So I get it. Congratulations, man. And I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you jumping on. It's just telling me that you're nudging it. You're knocking at the door. I'm on the other side, man. It's unlocked.
Yes, sir. Yeah. But as I said,
Come on in. It's open.
I will be in contact with you. I have the email. So I'm intending to run the test.
All right.
Let's run it. Yeah, I'm gonna run it. Let's go.
I got a plan for you. I promise. I'll lay it all out and I'll say, hey, man, just do this, do that, do this, do that, and you'll be free. That's it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thank you for having me, sir.
No problem. All right. Thank you for coming on.
I'm gonna drop back down to the chat.
All right, you guys. Hold up. I got to do a bathroom break. I drink a lot of water while I'm okay, so hold on. All right, I'm back. I am back. Great person to jump on. Appreciate it, man. I was hope I wash my hands. Okay, let's see what you guys been talking. That was a great interview, man. I'm glad. Hey, man, appreciate you jumping on there, Gold. Appreciate it. Oh, you guys been okay, Jose. In other words, you paid 33,000. They say blah blah blah. Okay, doing the 20% stuff. All right, E-Man, blah blah blah. What's up, Andre? What's going on? Tell them to get a non-recourse loan. Typically requires 40 to 60% down and low to DTI and high net worth. See what I'm saying? I don't even know anything about that. See, but that's that's got to be the best one. Got to be. Yep. Increase your income. What's up, Dynasty? Hello. Dave says, I just tuned back in. The man is coming to realization that what he knew about finances and mortgages is wrong. It's almost like he doesn't want to believe it. Cognitive dissonance, for sure. That's exactly what it is. Cognitive dissonance. Many of us were in the exact same boat, for sure. For sure. We were all there, Gold. Trust me. Dave says, LJ, can you hear that he's in debt before he even speaks? Yes, you can. That's a language. I feel what my man is saying. What is that? That is because we weren't taught this, so we believe that what the banks tell us is the only way. Exactly. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying anything negative about the banks. The banks are they're brilliant, man. They're brilliant. Brilliant. What's up, Antone? What's going on? He's pausing because he's trying to decipher what you're saying, and what you're saying goes against everything he saw from his family and friends. Yeah, that pause, I know exactly what that pause is. That's the glitch. And when you hear a person pause, like you got to be paying attention to it too. Okay, you got to, and the only way you can hear a person's pause is if you're not listening and ready to interject your opinion, because you're not really listening. And honestly, man, I love hearing the pauses, man. You guys, that's just amazing. This conversation can change his life, and that of his children's children. Sure can. Dave says family and money do not mix. I bet he's trying to help his family. All of us has. Denny, what's going on? Hello, family and friends. Will you there? I'm not sure. We'll put you there. Oh yeah, we'll put you there. Sure will. Perfect storm. 51 is too old to mortgage and homes and medium incomes. Those are statistics. Don't worry about an age being too old. That's not true. None of that is true. There is no age when it's time to buy a home. Only people that believe that. That's not true. Okay. Family is the worst. Preach. Appreciate it. Dave says, man, my 105-year-old grandmother passed away 2 weeks ago. Wow. I went to the funeral last Friday. 2 of my cousins I never met in my life tried to get me to give them a free photo shoot. Their first, wow, free. People treat free just like what it is, free. They treat it free. Okay. Too late. He's already doing it. My man is right. What is it? What LJ is telling him goes against everything he's learned, of course. Yep. If you guys want a consultation, all you got to do is right there, email me, and I'll email you an invoice, and then we can go from there. Set up a time that works best for you. Feel free to tune in, my man. You're welcome here. We have to do everything we can to get out of the matrix, man. We'll help you right here. Not just me, SMD family members for sure. I did. Preach, appreciate it. So anybody else, if you're in the background, because there's almost 40 people in here, if you want to, don't be shy. You can jump up. I'm not gonna say you're stupid or wrong, whatever, if you made financial mistakes, and I'm not bragging when I say I'm unlike the majority of people on YouTube. Okay, I just am. I'm not trying to pretend to be. I'm not trying to brag. I just am. All right. So don't hesitate. You can come on, click that link. You don't have to get on camera. You can use your voice. You can put in any name you wish. You don't have to put in your real name. You can do anything you want. Okay. You are welcome, Gold Professor. Thank you for thank you for talking with me, sir. I look forward to working with you. I look forward to, I mean, and I'm glad you did your research. Okay. I'm glad you came back and viewed my consistency to understand that I am the truth. Okay. I want the best for you. I do. I don't want you walking around here not believing in mathematics, because people that only unconscious slaves give financial advice when they're in debt. Unconscious slaves don't trust math. They just don't. Okay. They don't know. And the worst part about it, they don't know that they don't trust math. SR says, can we get some updates if anyone has paid off anything this month? It's nice to celebrate with others overseas. That is, you know what, SR, you were right. You know what? And I try to share things that people send me. I have to ask, and don't get me wrong, there are people that share things with me in the background that you got, but I don't ask them, can I share with the group, because that's their personal business. But what I'm going to start to do is to ask the people that share their stories with me if I can share with you guys. Okay. It's totally up to the people. And if you're a client, I don't even really tell people who are clients that come into the channel. If they announce that they're a client of mine, great. But I let you announce that. I don't say, hey, so-and-so is a client of mine. But if they come on and say, hey, man, I used LJ's services and I want to tell you my story, great. Because again, it's personal. You know, this money thing is personal. So welcome, Gold Professor. Way to do your due diligence. Oh, okay. I see you. I see a new person. You got it. Hey, you got in while it was hot. Okay, you got in just now. You know who you are. You got in while it's hot because nobody new is getting at that no more. That's done. Okay, but I'm gonna follow through. I always keep my word of what I promised, so we're gonna go ahead and follow through with that person. But I'm glad you got in while you got in. Good job. Juan says cognitive dissonance is real. It's a mofo to deal with, but like anything, it's hard at first, then it gets easier. Sure does. It gets easier. Hey, Gold, look up cognitive dissonance. Okay, go look that up. Then you'll kind of get an idea. It'll give you an idea of like, man, I added up my savings minus debt and I see that negative number. How come I don't believe it? Then you look at cognitive dissonance and read the definition. Any other questions? Any other questions? Any other questions? I'm here to help. I'm here to change lives. I'm here to help you. You'll never look at life the same. I promise you, that'll never be the same. Your whole life will change forever. Your whole life will change forever. If you're in the background, don't be nervous. Here's my email again. If you want a consultation, consultations are not free, okay? Consultations cost $99, okay? Here's my Cash App just in case, because I don't know why. Again, sometimes I'll put up here a lot just to see if people get it. But then when I don't put it up there, people are like, hey, what's your Cash App? I'll be like, man. But I thank you all for the Cash App donations. I do. So don't think I'm looking at them negatively. I'm just trying to give everybody what they want, you know, without seeming overbearing or stuff like that. So any questions about the topic? Any questions about, maybe you have some questions of me? Maybe you want to know something, just like Goldgate came up here and asked some phenomenal questions. Really, dude, they were really good questions. Really good questions. What are your thoughts on different types of budgeting apps, Excel, notebook, envelope? I mean, I think tools are cool. Don't get me wrong; they make your life easier. But you know, once you're debt free, you don't need apps. Like the best way I could say it, you don't really need stuff like that, especially budgeting apps. You don't really need any of that, right? Because you're out of debt. So you did what it, like, I believe budget is as good when you're trying to get out of debt. But once you get out of debt, you don't really need a budget because you know you're never going to go back and you're not going to do the things that put you back in debt. So you don't really need a budget for that because it's never going to happen. But any apps that makes life easier, I'm all with it. You know what I'm saying? Like an Excel spreadsheet or some kind of, you know, to keep track of, make sure I do my taxes right, and that makes life easier. Okay, I don't really have to do it, but outside of that, I really, I'm not against apps. I just it's just different. Dave says I use Mint, Prism, and Personal Capital apps track my finances and bills. Yeah, and see, it's cool. I mean, I look at it like once you're out of debt, you can take advantage of cashback offers when you have a credit card, right? You can take advantage of it because when you're out of debt, you pay your card off at the end of every month. So the benefit from just using it is basically free, totally free. Okay. What's up, Johnny Blaze? Shout out to Johnny Blaze for the $9.99 super chat. Your channel is like financial maintenance. Your finances require maintenance just like a car, just like your car. Sure do, man. You ain't lying. It's really not nothing too major. It's like, that's why I want to make sure you guys understand. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm a financial coach, you could say. I don't, and I say not only to say it legally, I want you to understand, I don't want you to confuse me with a financial advisor, okay? I'm not a financial advisor, nor do I want you to confuse me with one. Gold Professor says, I'm on my back to your email. Let's set up a consultation. Okay. Tell me what, tell you what, send me a time and a time that works best for you so I can put you on the schedule, Gold Professor. So I'll know your name and make sure you send me your phone number too. Okay. So send me a date and time that works best for you, or you can do this right now, Dave, Gold Professor, and I'll know who you are. Just send me an email. Go to my website and just click on consultation or free consultation, whatever, and put in a date and a time that works best for you. Okay. And make sure you select your time zone. That way it'll just notify me. Okay. And then we'll just go from there. And I'll send you an invoice too. So soon as this video is over, I'll send you an invoice. Okay. Dave says those three apps are really all you need, in my opinion. Yeah, and then it all counts on what you're using them for and stuff like that. SR says I use an Excel sheet I built to track everything I plan to continue using after I finish paying off student loans. Having no budget is what got me into. And I'm not saying don't have one. I'm definitely not saying that. Okay, I'm just saying once you're out of debt, I'm just saying things are just different. Okay, that's all. It's not. It's always good to track everything. Don't get me wrong. So please don't misunderstand what I'm saying. Steven says, been listed LJ for over a month, paid off cell phone, paid all utilities for remainder of the year, electric, water, Netflix, VPN. Wow, I didn't know you could do that with electric and water. Shit, you just taught me something. I got to ask my utility company about that. About to get Red Pocket Mobile and pay cell phone bill full year. Congratulations, Steven. See, you just taught me something. I got to check my utilities, see if I can pay in a year in advance or at least pay out the rest of the year. See if that saves me any money. If it didn't save me money, it'll just save me another bill to keep track of. That's all. Anton says, being called a slave put my ass in gear. That's funny. That's why I said it, man. That's why I say it. That's why I say it, because you have to feel it. You have to feel it. Johnny, did you do that by accident or on purpose? Because I see you two 999s with the same statement, sir. But if it's on purpose, I appreciate it. Thank you anyway. I'm not putting it down or anything. I just want to make sure, see if you did that if you got a little click happy or what. Oh, it's scrolling there at the bottom. Right there at the bottom. Scrolling on the bottom there, Gold Professor. Quentin, what's up, Quentin? LJ, before you got debt free, were you a person that would buy things to say to you have it? Yeah, I mean, I was renting a high rise apartment because I was making $100,000 a year. I wanted to get something that showed everybody that I made $100,000 a year, which is the stupidest nonsense in the world. I had a matching Lexus to go with it that I was making payments on, and all the other stupid nonsense too. I had it all. Darkman says, I was speaking to a close friend of mine about getting out of debt. Surprisingly, he was on the same journey. Got out of his townhouse and moved in with his parents to clean up his finances like me. Oh, wow. That's somebody serious. That is somebody serious for sure. My best friend is an alien. Johnny Blaze says there was an issue. Uh-oh. Next time, just start doing with hundreds, okay? No, just mess with you. Gold Professor says, got it. Okay, cool. Thank you, Nicer. Appreciate it. All right. And for you guys that might jump over there are no more free consultations. I'm just telling Gold to go there and use it because I know why he's doing it. Okay. I know why he's doing it. So there are no more free consultations. Okay. My guy just hasn't changed the website yet. He's going through some stuff right now. So I'm just letting you know right now. Okay. Oh, okay. All right. Just making sure, Johnny. I didn't know. But I appreciate you, sir. Thank you. Any questions? Any questions? Steven says, average what you normally pay monthly and just overpay on your next. Oh, okay. Oh, gotcha. Average what you normally pay on the monthly. Okay, and pay over on the next month. Multiple times, 5 months. Each month, once they cut the bill, your account will automatically get credit. Oh, okay, so you're just basically overpaying. Oh, I see what you're doing. You're just overpaying. Oh, of course they ain't gonna turn that down because they get to collect interest on that money, that overpayment of money, because it sits in an account. So they definitely ain't going to turn that down. No, I'm just saying, personally, I would only do it if I had some kind of financial benefit, right? Because I'm not gonna personally, I would not want to give them extra money that I could have somewhere else that could be either earning money for me or you. Because if I got a discount for paying ahead, that that's called phantom income. That's earning money for me. So if I said, hey, if I give you the rest of the month of electric bill, how much off can you knock off? They say, oh, we can knock off $200. I'd be like, okay, that's $200 more that I just earned. Okay. SOBC says, I worked at Amazon AWS for a year and a half. I was wanting to get into AWS because I was in VMware cloud, right? And the transition couldn't be that hard. I'm sure all the principles are the same, just slightly different commands or whatever, right? That would be I would not mind seeing Amazon's cloud system. I bet you it's an amazing site. Yep, Gabriel, is my math right? They function on frugality. Frugality? That's why Bezos is a billionaire. Wow, okay. What do you mean by that, SOBC? What do you mean they function on frugality? What does that mean? What's up, Gold Professor?
Yes, sir. I was coming back for a hot second. I went to the site, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And when I went to do the order now, it was
don't go. I'm sorry. Don't hit order now. All I want you to do is go back to the main page and click on the free consultation button or whatever.
The free consultation button?
Yeah, if you go back to the main page, there's a consultation button. Okay. Let me see. Let me go there now. Just a second. Get your free consultation right below. If you go to savings minus debt, it's a big blue button.
Yeah.
Do you see it?
Okay. I was doing it from my phone, so I can't do it like right now.
Oh, okay.
I have to do. That's why I came back to ask you.
Oh, okay. I appreciate that. Let me do this. Better yet, let me do this. Let me send you. I'm gonna post a link right here so you can just go straight to it from here. 1 second here.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna do it right now. 1 second. Here, let me see this. Okay, I'm gonna post a link. There's the link. You can click on that link, and then you should be able to schedule a time.
Okay. Okay. When I leave out of here, I go it's in the chat, right?
Yeah, it's in the chat. It's in the chat right now.
Okay. I'll go back down, drop back down to the chat, and then hit the link.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm back, you guys. Just doing several things here at once. Sorry. Let me do this real quick here. Let me make sure that same. Yeah, that's the same link. Okay, the same link. Just making sure it's the same. All right. All right. SR says Bezos got divorced to save his money in his wife's account. He knew Ghislaine Maxwell very good. See, I don't even know what any of that means. I'm sure that means something. Trump's EO in 2016 is to block the property and finances of people involved in crimes against humanity. You get some deep stuff there, man. SOBC says they are super cheap. Every dollar counts. I get, oh, okay. So I get why they are the way they are. Efficient. What's up, Queen? How you doing? Steven says, LJ, you're correct. It would be great to get a discounted rate. I only did it to eliminate having to remember to pay each month. No, I get it. And that still is valuable. Don't get me wrong. And people don't really understand that the value, the amazing feeling of not having something else that's off your plate as a due date. You guys don't really even get that. That alone of not having due dates is amazing. Is amazing. Muhammad says, Jeff Bezos doesn't pay taxes. Why is that? Because that's not true. Everybody pays taxes. He just doesn't pay. They're just saying it. They're saying it in a way that people in debt slaves don't understand. I mean, if you hear them say Jeff Bezos doesn't pay taxes, well, you got to immediately say, well, that's against the law. That would be tax evasion. So that's not true. So then you think to yourself, then what do they mean? And then once you get you can't see, put it this way, if you're in debt, it's mathematically impossible for you to see why Jeff Bezos is not paying taxes. It's impossible for you to see. Okay. Not saying you don't, but I can tell, Muhammad, by the way you're asking the question, I can tell, a lot of people believe, if the average person sees that, and I don't even know why they write it like that, because it's not true, right? Tax evasion is illegal, but it makes people hate him more because they say, oh, he doesn't pay taxes because he's rich. Well, if they listen to themselves say that, wait a minute, everybody has to pay taxes. That's illegal. That's a tax evasion. Then you'll be like, oh, okay, that's not true. Any other questions? Any questions? Everybody pays taxes, you guys, okay? Anything less is tax evasion, okay? Don't fall for them headlines. Hey, McDonald's doesn't pay taxes. Jeff Bezos, Amazon doesn't. None of that is true. Okay, that's not true. They pay taxes. Put it this way, they pay taxes just not the same way you do. Okay, that's it. They just don't pay taxes the same way. People with money don't pay taxes the same way people with no money. pay taxes. Okay, that's how it works. Everybody pays. Everybody pays, but everybody pays differently. Okay. What's up, John Kennedy? What's going on? Now I got 34 people in the room. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Ask your question why it's free. Ask your question why it's free. I do not do any more free consultations. So if you click on that and try to schedule yourself for something, I'm just going to cancel it. Okay. You got to reach out to me first with an email. Let me know that you want a consultation service, and then I will send you an invoice. Once the invoice is paid, we can get started. Was it always like this? No, it wasn't always like this. One thing I've learned from being out here on my own, people treat free as free. I promise you, people treat free as free. So if you go to my website now and go to services and you see the service that's offered right there, that's going to change. That's not, I'm going to, if you start it, I'm going to cancel it because that's not the service price anymore. Steven says, I can remember about 5 years when I had a NetSpend debit card thinking getting paid 2 days early meant something, was living paycheck to paycheck, broke-minded thinking. I know. Don't get me wrong. I was the same way, Steven. When I would get electronic bill pay, electronic deposit, I would be happy because I got my money a day early before my check and all this other stuff. It's so stupid. Those are such red flags that you don't even know. Pretty crazy. SR says, would you pay off debt or collections first? Debt. Collections are last. They're already there. You can't really do anything about it. They can't do any more damage than what they're already doing, so they're paid off last. All right, I see you there, Gold. I see you there. Let me see what day you're talking about. Okay. All right. Okay, I see you. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send you an invoice to that email address you put in there, and we'll go from there. Okay. As soon as we get off this live, I'll take care of that. Let's see. Asking questions for our silent brothers and sisters. Okay, yeah, that's cool, man. I don't know if you guys can talk amongst yourselves, but if you're too shy, you can have another member ask for you. Doesn't matter. Yeah, so just like I said, debt is first, collections are last, because they're already in there. They can't do more damage than what they're already doing. Plus, by the time you get to them, you can negotiate the amount down. All right. So no, what's up, Steve? What's going on, man? I was so broke at one time I didn't sign a check on a bill I mailed and thinking they wouldn't cash it. That is funny. Oh man, that is hilarious. I'd never tried that before. I'm assuming they still cashed it without your signature on it. That's funny. Oh wow, that's crazy. God damn. That's a new one, man. I got to add that to the arsenal. I never knew that existed. Okay. Go say, okay, I set up a time. But it's don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. The invoice will be in for it. Yeah. I'm right now, everything's not set up right now because I got what I'm telling you right now, what's going on, this is something that recently changed. Okay. That's really the only way I can describe it. But I will send soon, like I said, as soon as it's over, I'll send you the invoice and then we'll go from there. Okay. SR says, how fast have you noticed a change in financial position when going from no budget to a budget? Question for the feed. How fast have you noticed a change in financial position when going from no budget to well, that's that's immediate. Okay, that's immediate. There is it just it starts the best way I could say it starts mental. Once you realize and once you understand that the borrower is slave to the lender. Once you understand that you're a slave, I mean, really mean that. I mean, when you walk in the mirror, when you get up and go shave, you say, I'm a slave. When you get in your car and adjust your rearview mirror, you say it right there. You say, I'm a slave. Each time you see yourself, if you're walking down the street and you see a reflection in the window as you walk past a building in the glass, you say, hey, look at that slave. Look at that nicely dressed slave. When you're driving down in your car and you're looking at your car in the reflection of the mirror, you know, so when you're driving by a building, you say, look at that slave driving that nice car. Once you do that, once you really accept that you're a slave, you'll put together a budget like you unbelieve. You'll be like, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get out of debt the fastest. When somebody says, hey man, you're gonna come to our wedding in Hawaii, you're gonna say, nope. They're going to say, why not? You're going to say, I have no money. I'm broke. I'm a slave. What do you mean? I'll let you borrow some money. No, borrowing money from you would put me deeper in debt. I'm not going to, I told you, I just don't want to be a slave anymore. Antone says, I get excited about paying my student loans now. Ain't that? And I want you guys to listen to that statement. Get excited. You know why? Because it's going to be gone one day. That's what happens. You get excited about paying off your student loans. You get excited. You actually get excited. You do. SR says, LJ, I noticed within 2 months that I had way more money to pay off debt and wasn't in as bad as a spot as I thought I was. Exactly, because the majority of it is mental. It's never as bad as you think it is. It just seems that way. That's it. Especially when you're in debt, when you're a slave, everything is heightened tenfold because you hear your chains rattling, right? Every time you're walking, you hear your chains rattling, and then that gives you anxiety because that chain rattling won't stop everywhere you go. It won't shut up. Thank you, Nicer. Please join the Discord server. There it is. That's where me and other SMD family members are. Sometimes we're there posting stuff, asking questions, how to budget, how to save money. There's different categories. The server was set up by Hyphy, who is an SMD family member. Set up there. We got Cosmics in there. She's got good real estate advice in there when she's available. And she does this voluntarily, you know. So get her while she's in there. Get her while she's in the room. We got multiple SMD family members that have multiple skills, man. It's just amazing how each of you guys just have your own thing, man. It's just amazing. Any other questions? Any other questions? Any other questions? Don't be shy. If you want other people to ask questions for you, send them your questions so they can ask me. I try not to sound intimidating. I don't want you guys to be intimidated by me. I just want you to understand the only thing I'm talking about is mathematics. That's it. SR says, I have my debt set up in my budget as more money than they require, so that I am maxing out my debt payments and saving at the same time. Well, SR, you can't. It's mathematically impossible to pay debt and save money at the same time. That's impossible. That's 100% impossible. So you can't do that. Okay, that's impossible. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you definitely cannot save and pay debts at the same time. You only can do one or the other. There is no two. Because if you try to do it, if you try to save money and pay off debt at the same time, you're going twice as slow by paying off debt. I promise you. Antone says, what is the dumbest thing? Oh, the dumbest thing you've purchased. What's the dumbest thing I purchased? Dumbest. I remember at this time, I was married with, what did I have? Hey, Steve, you're going to know this too. So, hey, Steve, check it out. This is the dumbest thing I did. I was married at this time and we had 1, 2, 3 children, full time. And I went out and this is without my own children. All right. This is 3 children full time. And I went out and I financed a 2-door Acura Legend. I was married with 3 children and I went out and financed a 2-door Acura Legend. Oh my God. That is the stupidest thing I've ever done. Oh, that was so stupid. Stupid. SR says, LJ, I know you can't pay debt and save, but I am okay with my payoff date for my student loans. Okay. I am paying $1,500 plus each month on the debt and putting $1,000 in savings, California emergency fund. Not okay. All right, man. I'm not, everybody does their own. I'm not knocking you, but all I'm saying is that you could pay off, you could substantially move up your payoff student loan debt much faster if you just switch that up, but to each their own, as long as you're on the same journey. Okay. I'm not knocking what you're doing. I'm just saying it's mathematically impossible to do what you're doing, but you still got the same goal. SOBC, yeah, saving and paying off debt makes no sense. That's because that's impossible. You can't do that. SR following Dave's $1,000 emergency fund, not enough security. Well, see, because people think the $1,000 emergency fund belongs to Dave Ramsey. No, it's just math, right? In real life, mathematically, even $1,000 you save is not there. So people in debt believe that they have some security for money that doesn't even exist, right? It's not even there, right? But so $1,000 seems like a low amount of money, but they don't even understand that that's not even really there when you're in debt. But to each their own. I mean, whoever trusts math, you trust math. If you don't, you don't. You just do what you want to do. It's not a big deal. As long as you got the same goal, it's not a big deal. Steve says, when you finally get out of debt, but keep the same mindset you had to get out, it's all easy after that. Yeah, it's easy after that. Really, budgeting, you don't make dumb financial choices like that. It just doesn't happen, Muhammad says, we are all equal. We all have brains. Any person can be successful and have money. He must have willpower so that he will be the leader to the slaves. Well, yeah, you don't really want to, well, not leader to slaves, right? You got to remember, slaves are volunteer slaves. Nobody really owns slave. You just direct them. You just control them. Like, how you see cows and stuff, in movies, and they got these gates and they set up these gates to cows to follow through the gates. That's the same way, right? A cow doesn't know he's a cow. He just knows he exists, right? Slaves, unconscious slaves, they don't know they're slaves, but if they just decided to wake up one day and trust mathematics, they would realize they're a slave. They just don't know they're slaves, right? Dark Man Jeff says those Acura Legends were nice though. Yeah, I had a nice one, man. Here I am, married with 3 kids. I financed a 2-door Acura Legend. I remember financing the rims for it. I got the rims on it. I financed those rims. I can only imagine how a person with money saw me back in the day when I was an unconscious slave. I was just totally unconscious. I mean, in many things, not just finances. I was unconscious in many different ways, right? But today I look at them as all lessons. Thank God I listened to the voice in my head to stop doing the things I was doing, because my life would have been drastically different. I did a lot of unconscious things back then, but especially with money. All right, so any other questions? Any other questions? Any other questions? Don't be shy. Come on up. Make sure I'm not seeing, because sometimes I can't see. I can't see some of you guys' questions because sometimes the thing comes over late. See if we get here. All right, here we go. All right, let me see. All right. How does it feel to be debt free? How do you describe it? You don't think about money anymore. You don't have any more due dates, so you don't have to worry about due dates of bills and stuff like that. You're no longer scared of your mailbox, because the only thing that's going to come in is things that you order. If you it's just free. I mean, the whole world is different. You don't it's just different. It's totally different. It's free. You just don't think about, you don't once you get debt free, you realize time is the most valuable thing on earth. So you put it this way, you're going to do anything that you must do to own as much of the time in your life as possible. That's what you're going to do. You're going to do that. You're never going to stop. SOBC says, LJ, I have $30,000 in emergency fund and another 25K in savings. Should I use that to pay off my mortgage? What are your thoughts on emergency funds? Seeing that we're in the times right now, I would keep my money because of a worldwide pandemic that we're in. All right. If your mortgage is the last thing on your list, SOBC, I would sit on my money until, because if this was regular times, I would say pay off your house, right? But we're not in regular times. We're in a worldwide pandemic. I would sit on my money, go ahead and pay my mortgage, make sure you make your mortgage payments on time, and just chill. For now, just chill, because I don't know what's going to happen after July 31st. I'm waiting for, I don't look past the amount of money that's going to be cut off, the extra unemployment that's about to be cut off. I don't look past that point. So I'm waiting to see what's going to happen there. That's going to be a big shift right there. I don't know what's going to happen. We got to see but just sit on your money. Don't worry about paying off no mortgage right now. I would keep my money. Queen says, don't be shy. No questions is a dumb question. Thank you, Queen. That is very true. Queen says, we had to learn the hard way. Freedom from debt is nice. It is wonderful. It makes getting out of debt, the hard struggles of paying off debt, it makes it all worth it once you become free. Once you become free, because paying off the debt is going to be hard. Okay. What you're doing is paying for your mistakes when you were unconscious. Now you got to pay for it, right? You got to pay for that stuff, right? Once you pay for it, it's going to be worth it, man. It's going to be totally worth it. Totally worth it. All right. So if there are not going to be any more questions, man, we're going to go ahead and call this. Okay. We're going to go ahead and call this since there are no more questions. And those of you that have gold, I see you. And the other person, I see you too. I will take care of that as soon as I get off. It'll be done. Both of those things will be done today. All right. Winter is, what'd you say? Cosmic winter is coming. Some will freeze to death. Others will go skiing. Being above zero helps. You're right. I love that. I love that, Cosmic. Winter is coming. Some will freeze to death. Others will go skiing. Oh, I'm still in that one. I'm taking that. Let me take a picture of that. I'm going to put that on a shirt too. Oh, my brother come through with this stuff. That is lovely. Let me put that. Okay. Health is wealth, Queen says. Imagine this. I see patients spending $1,000 to $2,000 on medication monthly. $1,000 to $2,000. Whew. I hope you young people are listening. You young unconscious slaves not taking care of yourself. I hope you guys are paying attention. I hope you're paying attention. I hope you're paying attention. All the money in the world cannot help you if your health is bad. You can't do nothing if you're laying in a hospital bed. You can think about all your money in your bank accounts while you're laying up in the hospital and can't even move. You're gonna see what your money does for you then. Everybody waiting for you to die so they can see if they get some of that money. Boy, I tell you. You know what's so crazy now? Now I see why when ultra rich people, they just give away their money to charities and stuff like that and give it away. You know, I would, when I become a multimillionaire, I would not, if my kids didn't understand money, I would not give my money to them. It would hurt them more than it would help them. If my kids didn't understand my principles about money and they just decide to live in the debt matrix, that would make absolutely no sense for me to give them my money. That would hurt them. You can give, like if you gave gave an unconscious slave $1 million, they would be broke within a year or two. They would be completely broke. Because it's a mentality thing. Unconscious slaves, they don't know, they don't trust math. So if you gave an unconscious slave $1 million, you know what they would think in their brains? Oh, I can afford bigger payments. So they would get a bigger car, a more expensive car, and make the payments. They would get a bigger house, and then they would make the payments on the house. That's all they do. Nothing changes. On the outside, you would think, oh man, look, they're upgrading their life. No, they just got bigger payments. That's all. It's nothing different than before they got the money. It's the same thing. And sooner or later, you'll see them right back to before they had the money because their mentality hasn't changed yet. That's how it works. All right, you guys, until next time, thank you for joining. Have a wonderful day. All right, see you later.